cannot stress how dangerous and ugly and evil this all is, right? That there is no, right? There is no relish of salvation in it, right? And if that's Hamlet's design ideal to kill Claudius, right? Right? So the damage is done, right? The two of us, right? We're bound together forever, right? We'll never be free of each other, right? And if there's no true reconciliation, right? Right? Then, right? We will always believe that the other one, right? Would prefer that the other was dead. That's the point, right? Do I want to kill Quentin Tarantino with my mind, right? I have ethical standards, right? I grew up without a father, right? And so I remind him what's good in his life, right? He's got the most beautiful wife probably in the world, for sure. So lovely, right? 2 beautiful children, right? That need you, that depend upon you, right? But is it getting to a point, right? Right. My point right now, right, is that God's given me permission, right? That this thing that's blown all the way open, right? That He's decided to say, okay, we're going to play the psychic mind game where we literally try to use our minds to destroy each other's bodies. That's like what I'm saying right now, right? These are the things that He's been doing, stolen from my mind, right? Stolen from my mind, not from Him, right? Just like I said earlier, right? When I realized, right, that there's no other way to interpret it, that everything that He's done has been to compel me to suicide, now that He knows I'll never do that, what is He prepared to do? To put me in the ground, right? That's, right? And so the things that He's done have given me divine permission to do everything that I can to strike Him from the earth. Yes, that's the point. Right? This is the game that He wanted to play, right? And so now He can send people to assassinate me, right? Or we can reconcile, right? Because the steps that He's taken have been to palpably destroy me and destroy my body and put me in the ground forever. That's the things that He's been doing. Therefore, God Almighty in heaven, right, has told me, you have the right to do the same things, right? I have ethics. Right? And so we're talking about it every day, right? And now I have no choice. Now I see it. I have to build this thing, right? And I'm going to show it to you here. I'm going to show it to you here. This is not a joke, right? This is not a child's game. It never has been, right? And I'm sorry. It's my fault. It's my fault, right? So, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction, and to rot. This sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling regions of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown about with restless violence round about the pendant world. Or to be worse than worst of those, that lawless and uncertain thought, imagine howling. 'Tis too horrible. The weariest and most loathed worldly life, that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on nature, is a paradise to what we fear of death. And so the last thing that I'll talk about is that the line is often read that age, ache, penury, right, as in having no money, and imprisonment can lay on nature, which is how I recited it then. However, if you look at the first folio, right? We recall our Elizabethan studies, right? That there is no J in the Greek alphabet, right? Therefore, anytime the letter J appears, right, it's printed as the letter I. Okay, so we look at the first folio, at that beautiful Claudio speech from Measure, right? Right? And so on the first folio printing, which I'm pretty sure is the first, however many of the plays were never published until the first folio, and perhaps that's not one of them, but anyway, it goes P-E-R, right? And then there's a dot. There's a dot and a line. It's the letter I. It's not, it's not an N. However, right? You, like, through printing errors, right? Like, that's like my point. Right? That's my point, right? Or the other thing, which I resent even more, is bullshit scholars, interpretation of like how you're supposed to read the lines, right? Because it would be perjury. It wouldn't be penury, right? The weariest and most loathed life that age, ache, perjury, and imprisonment can lay on nature, right? Which one's better? Doesn't matter. They're both equally beautiful, right? But on the page of the first folio, right, the word is not penury. The word is perjury, right? So, something to consider, right? The Art in Shakespeare, right? Like all these books, all these like compositions that people buy that were printed in the 20th century, it's all bullshit. It colors your reading of the lines, right? You have to go to the Bodleian first folio PDFs, right? Like it's all there. Like you can look at the old pages, right? And then you can actually know like what they're saying and not rely upon other people, right? God bless you all. Pray for myself. Pray for Quentin. Pray for the world, right? Remind Quentin what's good that he has in this world, right? Bring us to reconciliation. Help bring us to reconciliation, right? Like, share, comment, subscribe, right? May the good Lord shine a light on you.